I think I can speak for many when I say that Outer Wilds is definitely a game that is in my top three favorite of all time. The only reason why it isn't is because Hollow Knight was my first jump into the indie genre, with such a defining creativity and cool concepts that it will most likely stay at my top one. But isn't to understate the impact Outer Wilds has had on my life. It has affected me forever, and I don't think any game will change the impact it has had on me. So let's talk about it. Outer Wilds has so many things going for it, but I think the main aspect this game perfected in my brain is the exploration and interconnectivity of its planets. Not only are they connected, but they are also unique. Not one planet is too similar to the other. Giant's Deep has high tides and tornadoes that suck you in or push you out. Dark Bramble has unending expansions into other places. Interloper is a fast comet that holds a secret to the Nomai extinction. In short, every planet has something to distinguish itself from the other. My favorite among them is Brittle Hollow. So much content is packed into this seemingly dying planet. And also, one of my favorite things to do, like the black hole spinning. This planet also introduces an interesting concept to the time loop. To unlock all its secrets, you must simply wait. It may seem weird to waste time since you have a limited amount of it in each loop, but it gives you the liberty to go elsewhere to explore and understand other areas while you're waiting for the library to fall through its black hole. It's inaccessible if you don't wait, because there's no way to get through it. So the simple feature is why I love this planet. It's a race against time to explore the rest of the planet as it disintegrates. But for the final act, for the final secrets, for the big ones, it's a waiting game. And I adore that creative design. Another aspect of the exploration that keeps you consumed by the game is the fact that there are no loading screens from planet to planet. Everything happens so fluently and perfectly. If you want to leave a planet and go elsewhere, you can just go over there without any problems, if your computer can handle it. This is also why the loop system works so well, since you're never taking out the 22 minutes you have. Everything feels fluid even as the sun takes you out. You always have the same amount of time. No, no beginning nor end, unless you die from something that isn't the sun going supernova. Each loop transitions perfectly into the other, never making you lose your immersion. It's what makes this game so addicting. You always feel like you're in the middle of something, or that you just want to go for another piece of the puzzle. You don't necessarily need to go back for more, but you want to go back for more. So next, let's talk about the interconnection of the world. So this ties in a bit with the other aspect of fluidity, but basically you can go across the whole solar system multiple times in a single loop and you'll never realize because every planet is just that well connected and every mystery is that well intertwined in itself. So, for example, to learn how to avoid the anglerfish, you must first go to the Ember Twin to learn about the skeleton here. So this is pretty simple, but it makes you go from one really basic planet all the way to the other end with Dark Bramble, which is one of the furthest away from the solar system. And so you can learn about this, and you can then access the vessel properly. Next, we have the coordinates for the tracking module, which you need to find in the core of Giant's Deep. And to access this, you need to find out about how to navigate tornadoes. Tornadoes will push you underneath the surface, and that is found in Brittle Hollow. And for the jellyfish, this is found in Dark Bramble. So let's recap here. To be able to go in the core of Giant's Deep, you need to go to Brittle Hollow, and you need to go in Dark Bramble to find the coordinates, to then be able to go to Dark Bramble and go to the vessel. So you go 1, 2, then you go to 3, and then you go to 4. And this are the same. It's just genius. The style of puzzle solving makes it that every time you get to a location, you find a new puzzle that has its answer to somewhere else. And once you solve that puzzle, its content gives you the solution for another problem. That makes a player always want to continue playing since they want to keep gaining knowledge on the world around them. Like I said earlier, this game makes it super this whole thing makes it super hard to stop playing with the fluidity, so you can just go directly from one to the other so easily. It's so fascinating to me how they just pull this off just so well. So now I've praised the exploration a good amount, but I also want to praise something else about Outer Wilds, and that's its story and how it's presented through the rumor modes and the ship log. So from the beginning of the game, you're given this thing. It's called a Nomai translator, or just a tool to translate their writing. And what it does is that every time you read one, translate it in real time, and a new branch pops up. So you read this, you read the trees are moving, trees are in this grove, wander about freely, and then you can go to the next one. So it gives kind of an order. Then when you read this one, well, you get 2 new ones. So it serves to make and give you the player an order in which to read the story. So you can know how it's supposed to be read in the intended way. And the only way you can really break that order is if I maybe went to Ashtwin or Ebertwin first. But the game was designed around that. So, well, the meteors are really not even close. Oh, that was really close. Anyways, so it makes it so every piece of writing will be read in pretty much the way it was intended to be read. And you see this breaks off, I can read this, and this is just conclusion. But after if I read this, oh, it branches off another time. And it branches off another time. So it really just pushes the idea that just like, this is in the order you should read the story. And yeah, and after, when you collected all this information, so you don't have to always remember it, well, it's stored in your ship log. So let's go look at that. Behind you, you have this little computer, which has a list of every island, every planet, every little thing around it. So the Quantum Moon, Stranger, Hollow's Lantern, Orbital Probe Cannon. So every piece and every planet is planted here. And then the good part, my favorite part, is the rumor mode, which is all the connections you would want in your log. So you have the big elements like the Ashwin Project, the Quantum Moon, the vessel, the ruptured core for like the Nomai's extinction. You have the Stranger, which is everything around here. You have the orbital probe cannon, and every big element is noticeably bigger, so your eye always goes to that first. And every secondary element, well, as you can see here, is a bit smaller, and it's always these ones making the connections here. So everything is going towards Quantum Moon. Everything is going towards the orbital probe cannon. Everything is going towards this here, and it serves as a guide for the player to like, oh, okay, I've discovered all this. Now I can try to figure out the vessel. Oh, I've discovered everything around here. And since the Ashwin Project is central, it makes you realize that this is about like the most important element. It just presents stuff in the middle here, and in one of the most noticeable colors, orange. So if you're ever stuck, you can just look at the rumor mode and be like, where have I not gone? And if I haven't explored something here, and I want to access the Quantum Moon, then I should probably go there before, so I can actually learn. And then when you click on the entry here, it gives you a big amount of text. This is all presented in bullet points to make even for a larger ease of reading and ease of access. So if I go to Quantum Moon here, okay, this is a bad example, but if I go to Ashwin Project, there's a lot of elements, and there's a lot of things describing what it does. So you know what the thing is, but if you forget it, what it actually does or what it is, you can just read. And if you want to even go to it, so let's say a Stranger, which is invisible, you mark the location, and you see it, it's over there, 22 kilometers away, and it's always rotating. So it makes it for a really understandable experience, and it makes you so that the game doesn't lose you. Fun fact, when I first played this game, I didn't know they had a rumor mode like this, and I completely gave up after 2 seconds because I didn't know where to go. But once I discovered this, I don't know, I just got completely hooked, and that's why I think it's just so amazing to have here. So you can jump right in after like maybe a few days, maybe a few weeks, and you can still just read back and catch up, and you'll be completely fine. So just, it's amazing. I feel like the Sun Station deserves its own little section due to how big of an impact it has on your perspective on the solar system. It makes you go from, oh, I get it now, let's go see how it works, to, oh wow, oh god, what the hell's going on? The Norway didn't plan everything perfectly. They were just at the right place, at the right time to make it work. The sun isn't forcefully exploding, it's collapsing under its own weight and going into a supernova. In fact, if you look up and pay attention, every single sun around you is going supernova. Every star in the sky is dying. The knowledge you learn in this location is crucial to your understanding of the game. It's game-changing knowledge that flips the whole mystery on its own head. This is further illustrated by the way you get to the main part of the station, the famous leap across the broken bridge gap. For many, this is a stressful situation. It can be a bit hard to control the movements and trajectory, but it's quite fitting for the type of information that will be learned. The grand music just makes the whole process a lot more endearing, and it encourages you to cross that gap, to persevere, and to access the main information. And who could forget the classic quote, "Science compels us to explode the sun"? For me, I think the whole Sun Station part was my top 3 moments in the game. It is that well made. The finale is never directly told to you via rumor mode. Instead, you have to piece every element together yourself before going to the vessel with the correct warp core. The Eye of the Universe is said to have produced a signal older than the universe itself. But how exactly is that possible? Did the Eye create the universe? That's probably what the Nomai civilization asked themselves before it crashed teleporting into our solar system. These questions then get translated to us, creating a cycle of questions without answers. It allows the player to create their own theories about the origin of said entity. It involves the player with the game. It makes you feel a part of the mystery. This enhances the immersion and flips the game completely on its head from an exploration game to a puzzle solving and mystery game in the span of a few minutes. Throughout the whole game, the true origin of the Eye is never really spelled out to you. Only its function is told to us. It acts as a sort of unsentient creator. The Eye is the origin of the creation of the universe. As Solanum said beautifully, the universe is, and we are. This is basically his way of saying that all the planets that we have encountered simply exist. Hollow's lantern is simply a moon that's showering brittle hollow with volcanic meteors. It's not meaning to hurt you. The interloper isn't out to get you simply because you randomly got in its way while flying. The whole universe just is, and we simply are. The Eye of the Universe seems so scary at first. A big hurricane looking thing with lightning bolts in the distance. Its presence is humongous. As you walk on the quantum field, shards appear left and right with the light cues. Sometimes right in your face as well, scaring you by atmosphere alone. Then you jump in the whole crater and get consumed at the core of the Eye. It's then that you enter the final phase and everything gets calm. The darkness surrounds you, and the stars around you start blowing up. The world is about to be reborn. Yes, eventually every universe will get restarted, but it shouldn't be seen as something evil, but simply as a natural cycle of life. Gabriel explains the feeling well, as everything is ending, and as we prepare to let the world pass on. It's the kind of thing that makes you glad you stopped and saw the pine trees along the way, you know? The end of Outer Wilds is one of the best I've ever had the joy to play through. It encompasses the feeling of melancholy and joy to have been able to witness something before its disappearance. All things must pass. But that shouldn't scare you. It should excite you for the future and when new things get created. For me, this feeling is encapsulated by the song The Travelers. It really never fails to make me tear up. Even more now with the new crew member thanks to the Genius DLC. It's a song about remembering what every band member has brought to you. A song about the universe and what kind of bond it can create. It's a song about the purpose of Outer Wilds venture, exploration and curiosity. The Eye of the Universe tells us that Outer Wilds is an experience that can be interacted with. To finish off this video, I just want to talk about the Traveler's song. For me, it ties everything from our journey together. From the banjo of Riebeck, from the collapsing brittle hollow, to the whistling of dear old home, to the harmonica from deep inside dark bramble, to the flute from Garbo on the chaotic giant's deep. The drums from Chert on the twins. The weird piano from Solanum on the Quantum Moon, one of the bigger mysteries. To finally, the chant on the weird violin from the Alec. It ties in everything that we've seen throughout the playthrough. Every single piece of music and every single person we've met. All around the campfire that signalize their presence. It truly is that beautiful. As we see a new globe start to appear, we understand that this is the creation. We are currently making the new world and the new universe. As the lights flash and everyone prepares to say their goodbye, I think one quote sends out to me. And it's this one by Solanum. If you say that you're maybe not ready to collapse the possibilities, he said, it's tempting to linger in the moment, while every possibility still exists. But unless they're collapsed by an observer, they will never be more than possibilities. It gives the player some sort of acceptance that we may still exist here with every possibility. The future might not be certain, and we do not know if it will be good or bad. But we need to be open-minded. The future needs to be seen to exist. It exists based on the past and always will. The Alec's cry tells us everything we need to know about trying to stay stuck in the past. It results in a cry deep with sorrow, adding a melancholic air to the whole ordeal. And he's honored to be part of it. As am I, to have been able to play this game and to experience it fully.